What is at stake in this campaign to be the next Secretary of State in Georgia?
Everything is at stake in this campaign. I mean, we saw what happened on January 6th. We saw exactly what happened last year in 2020 when Republicans were trying to undermine the results of the election here in Georgia. We were subject to misinformation, lies, and conspiracy theories. And we sat through committee meetings where Republicans were silent as all of this misinformation came forward. And as a result, we passed a massive voter suppression bill that is based on lies. And that erosion of democracy is dangerous for all Georgians.
I want our audience to see just how close this race was in 2018. Brad Raffensperger, the Republican candidate, won, beating the Democrat John Barrow, but only by 0.4% of the vote, less than half of 1% of the vote. And so that was a winnable race then with just a little bit more turnout on the Democratic side. Now that we've seen what the Democrats are capable of in statewide races in Georgia, this seems even more possible.
It's absolutely possible, and we saw evidence of that when we built a broad-based coalition that gave Joe Biden the win, that gave Senator Warnock and Senator Ossoff the win. And part of that is recognizing that Georgians are stronger when we stand together, when we bring everybody to the table. We have shared values, and we want the same things for our families. And quite frankly, when the Republicans are unable to offer new ideas, I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic and we have the lowest rate of vaccinations almost among 50 states. We did not expand health insurance for 500,000 Georgians. And instead, we passed massive voter suppression policies based on lies. And so we have the ideas, we have the policies, and we celebrate the diversity of our state, which is going to bring us to a win in 2020.
Georgia's Republican legislature has now famously rewritten Georgia election law. How much does that law basically tie the hands of the Secretary of State, and what might you be able to achieve in the office of Secretary of State, given the Republican legislature has written these new laws?
It certainly dilutes the power of the Secretary of State. And I have to say, I'm very disappointed that our current Secretary of State is backing that law, despite the fact that it ties his own hand to do his constitutional duties that he was elected to do for the people of Georgia. But here's the thing. The Secretary of State will still have a critical role in elections and across all divisions in the state of Georgia. And part of the elections related responsibilities is being able to build collaborative relationships with 159 local election boards. Now, in the past, our Secretary of State has oftentimes deflected responsibility and blamed local election boards for inefficiency or challenges they face. In fact, many local election officials have told me that they felt hesitant testifying in committee meetings because they were afraid the Secretary of State would be retaliatory. Instead of being collaborative and building a partnership, the Secretary of State has led in a way that makes election officials, quite frankly, afraid of him. And so I envision a Secretary of State that is working to equip our local elections boards with the resources they need, the training that they need to make sure that they are able to carry out the functions so that voters aren't waiting in line, so that election boards do have enough equipment to run elections and that they are trained properly and understand our complicated and nuanced election laws, which have changed quite drastically in the last year.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.